evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to welcome you to our City of Oak Hill City Council meeting, July 13th, 2026. We will begin tonight with our invocation by Pastor Greg Baptist Church.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Let's pray together. Our God and our Father, we come before you this evening, and it should be with hearts of gratitude, for you have way yonder more than we deserve. You are a God of love and a God of peace and grace and mercy. And every day, God, you deliver your loving kindness to us. I pray tonight as we come into this city, thank you for the men and women who have stepped to these leadership positions. I'm grateful, God, that they have extended themselves to serve in such a way. We know the Apostle Paul tells us that from you, O God, the corrupt and the tried and true governments, the faithful governments, both come from you. And oftentimes the people get what they deserve. This council, Father, I pray, would be the faithful council who have eyes to see and ears to hear, minds that are open, and hearts that care, because they are to serve the citizenry of this city. So, Father, I pray that you would give them wisdom and skill and discernment beyond what they even possess naturally. Make wise decisions and be forward to the benefit of the rich and the poor, the healthy, the wealthy, the indigent, and the sick, the afflicted. Father, may the cares and concerns of this entire citizenry be first and foremost in their minds. Oh, Father, fill this chamber with your spirit of grace, your spirit of compassion, and with your spirit of mercy. These things, Father, we pray, knowing no matter what our problems are, no matter how big our problems may seem, you are a bigger God, and you have everything under your sovereign hand. Thank you. We thank you, we praise you, and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We'll now have our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic stands one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Swisher. I now call to order this City Council meeting, July 13th, 2026. Our clerk will call the roll.
Mayor Charles Briscoe.
Here.
Bill Hannibas.
Here.
Ann Janey.
Here.
Terry Van Buskirk. Absent. Roger Evans.
Here.
Chris Gill.
Here.
PJ Elder.
Here.
And Tim Buskis.
Here.
Mayor, if I may, I'd like to request that we entertain a motion to amend tonight's agenda. We had an administrative oversight
On an item
regarding coal severance budget revision that is due to the state auditor this Wednesday, the 15th of July, and it was inadvertently left off of the agenda, and so we'd like to add that to the agenda, to take up the matter tonight so that it can be submitted to the state auditor's office in time, with the plan to have that also on our July 24th agenda to vote the matter a second time with the public notification, just to avoid any kind of questions. This is in an effort to have maximum transparency. It was simply an administrative oversight. It was left off of the agenda, but to conduct efficient business and submit this to the state in the appropriate time, I'd like to request that be added as item number 10 under new business. and I think we would need a motion, second, and a
on that to do so.
I'd like to make that motion, please.
I second that motion.
All right, a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you very much.
thank you.
All right, our treasurer's report, you've read that in your packet. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see. Chief, I almost forgot. Thank you very much. It says Coca-Cola. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Our reading and approval of minutes.
Three different.
And we have 3 different sets. May we have a motion? The first set of minutes from,
I move to accept the minutes from June 8th.
we
I
have,
second that motion.
we have a motion and a second to accept the city council minutes from June the 8th. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. We have a next set, Monday, June 5th meeting, special city council. May we have a motion to accept those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Motion and a second to accept the June 15th special city council meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. And finally, special city council meeting minutes for Thursday, July 2nd. May we
I move to accept the minutes for July 2nd.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the minutes from Thursday, July 2nd. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Moving along to our treasurer's report. You've read that in your packet. May we have a motion to accept our treasurer's report?
Mayor, I'll make the motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Madam Clerk, do we have any correspondence?
Yes.
All right. Would you read that for us, please?
Yes, sir. We, the undersigned citizens of Oak Hill, West Virginia, hereby formally object to revising the city chapter to permit city managers from serving if they live outside of city limits. To allow any citizen apprehensions that politics may be involved in this proposed questionable charter change, we therefore believe it is best to submit this question for charter change to the voters. Sincerely yours, Dave Perry, Charles Smallwood Jr., Danny E. Wright.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Cool. You've been in touch with Mr. Perry. Have you talked to anyone?
I have not heard anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any citizen comments at this time? Okay. Moving along, we have a presentation from Delegate Elliott Pritt regarding the Local Economic Development Act grant.
Yes, Delegate Pritt has secured us some funding, and we're very thankful for that. This funding is to be used for an additional security camera at the Needles Eye Park to ensure the safety and security of the visitors to our park. And so with that, turn it over to Delegate Pritt if you have any words, and then we'll bring our big ceremonial check up to you. Okay, we'll come up in the middle here. And Mayor, if you want to come up as well, we'll I've done this long enough to know what people appreciate.
Sonya's going to take photos for me tonight.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll take that check.
Thank you.
Elliot.
Appreciate it.
All right, we are moving along to our Spirit of Oak Hill Awards. Miss Sandy, do you have a few words to say before we do our presentation? You're taking pictures. All right. Well, we begin tonight with two people that apparently are very special people to the city of Oak Hill. And I can tell you they are very special people to the Oakley Festival. Big, big help. I'll come back and grab that. You just get that on? All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you. You know, when I first got this gig, they told me, just call him Jerry. No, don't call him Gerald. Make sure you call him Jerry. And I thought, okay, is he going to get mad if I do something wrong with him? You know, people call me Chuck all day, drives me crazy. But it is what it is. All right. This Spirit of Oak Hill Award goes to Jerry and Margaret Hildebrand. They've been long time. Jerry and Margaret Hildebrand have been longtime residents of Highland Avenue in Oak Hill, and they have dedicated much of their lives to serving and strengthening the Oak Hill community. And whereas Jerry Hildebrand's family legacy of entrepreneurship began in the early 1950s when his father established Hildebrand Hauling, a business that Jerry and his brother later continued and successfully transformed into Hildebrand U-Haul in the early 1970s, building it into the respected business it remains today, and further assumed the day-to-day operations of Bridgehaven Country Club in the early 2000s and faithfully managed the facility through 2023. They helped maintain a valued recreational and community asset for the citizens of Oak Hill and the surrounding areas. And whereas Jerry and Margaret Hildebrand have consistently demonstrated a spirit of generosity and community service, always willing to assist those in need and supporting numerous local athletic programs and community initiatives. And whereas Jerry and Margaret Hildebrand have been steadfast supporters of the Oakley Festival and have continually gone above and beyond in lending their time, resources, and encouragement to the benefit of the Oak Hill community. And whereas Jerry and Margaret Hildebrand have built a strong and loving family, sharing many years of marriage and raising 7 children while enjoying the blessings of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Margaret, I thought you were 29. Okay. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Oak Hill, West Virginia does hereby present Jerry and Margaret Hildebrand with the Spirit of Oak Hill Award for their outstanding contributions, dedication, service, and unwavering commitment to the City of Oak Hill and its residents. I witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands this 13th day of July 2026. Thank you.
Very nice.
Stand up.
You guys want to come up?
Hello.
I would have dressed better. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, sir. Amen. Proclamation Spirit of Oak Hill Award. Whereas Stevens Chevrolet, formerly known as King Cole Chevrolet, was originally incorporated in 1935 and has proudly served the residents of Oak Hill and the surrounding region for more than 90 years, transitioning to Stevens Chevrolet in 2023 while continuing its legacy of excellence. And whereas Stevens Chevrolet has become a pillar of the Oak Hill community through its steadfast commitment to supporting local schools, youth sports teams, and charitable organizations, including the Fayette County Toy Fund, demonstrating an enduring dedication and improving the lives of area residents. And whereas Stevens Chevrolet currently employs 72 individuals, all from the local area, making a significant contribution to the economic vitality and prosperity of Oak Hill and Fayette County. And whereas Stevens Chevrolet has earned national recognition through its exceptional performance and commitment to customer service, having received General Motors' prestigious Mark of Excellence Award twice within the past 3 years. And whereas Stevens Chevrolet has distinguished itself as the #1 volume Chevrolet dealership in southern West Virginia, reflecting its outstanding reputation, strong customer relationships, and commitment to the excellence in the automotive industry. And whereas the dealership is owned and operated by Chase Barton and his wife Ashley Barton, along with his business partners and Richard Stevens and Michael Ballard, whose leadership and vision have strengthened both the business and the community it serves. And therefore be it proclaimed that the City of Oak Hill, West Virginia hereby recognizes and commends Stevens Chevrolet for their outstanding contributions to the economic growth, charitable spirit, and overall well-being of the City of Oak Hill community. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands this 13th day of July, 2026. Charles Briscoe, Mayor. Come on up, please. That's quite hard to do when you're full of antibiotics. But hey, it happens. All righty. We are now moving into unfinished business. Item number 1, our city manager residency proposed charter change. And may we have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make that motion. Don't choke to death.
May we have a second?
Second that, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. The hearing is now open if anyone has anything they need to talk about. Okay. All right, we need to now call for a vote on the proposed charter change.
No, to open the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry,
The motion and a second.
we just did that.
Motion and a second. You got to vote. Have a vote.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I hear what you're saying. May we have I'm sorry. I'm full of medication, folks, so forgive me. That's why I wasn't here last week. Okay, now we need a vote to open our public hearing. So all those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the motion is carried. Thank you. Now we may continue on.
Do we have any public comment regarding the proposed charter change for city manager residency? Now will be the time for any public comment. Okay, Mayor, hearing none, I think we'll take a motion to close.
We will now take a motion to close the public hearing since we don't have any input.
Mayor, I'll make that motion to close the public hearing.
May we
I
have a
second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
And Mayor, that,
Yes.
there's a 10-day period after this hearing, if I'm not mistaken, that anyone who wishes to register in writing a objection to it, of course, we already have one, just takes one, to have this matter placed on a ballot. And also during the next 10 days, if the one that we have received, it can be rescinded.
That's
during that
correct,
10 days.
yes.
And we will have another meeting, which is,
July 24th at 6 p.m.
okay.
So we can take opposition in writing up until that time, or if opposition has been filed, it can be withdrawn up until the time of that meeting, July 24th at 6
And a
p.m.
written objection can be filed that evening of the 24th.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
All right. Thank you. Item number two. Item number 2 has been has been moved. Not yet. Oh, okay. We are about to try to move item number 2, our city manager hiring, our anticipated executive session. We'd like to move it down to number 11, which would be right after our coal severance budget revision. If there are no opposition, may we have a vote to do so?
Mayor, I'll motion to move item number 1 to item number 11.
That'd be item number 2.
Item number 2.
We
I
have a
second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to move item number 2 to item number 11. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. We are moving into new business. Item number 3, reappointment of Jack Buda to the Sanitary Board.
Yes, Mr. Buda has served on the sanitary board for several years now. He does wish to be reappointed. That's for a 3-year term, and he is willing to serve. And so the matter at hand would be to consider his reappointment this evening for a 3-year term.
I'd like to make that motion if he's willing to serve to reappoint Jack Buda.
May we have a second?
Second that.
We have a motion and a second to reappoint Jack Buda to the Sanitary Board. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item number 4 is the reappointment of Jim Ross to the Planning Commission.
Mayor, since Mr. Ross has agreed to serve, he's served several years, and I would move to reappoint Mr. Ross.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to reappoint Jim Ross to the Planning Commission. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Number 5, our Leadership Fayette County Oak Hill Scholarship Contribution.
And I don't see, I understood that maybe Mr. Heater, Jeff Heater, who's a leader in this organization, may show up tonight. I don't see him here. We received a request recently with a invoice, so to speak, for the $1,000. Evidently, this is something we have contributed to in the past. This is for a Oak Hill Scholarship Fund contribution for Leadership Fayette County. We paid this previously in 2019 and 2024. I'm not sure what the gap was in between or why there was a gap, but all we could find in looking up the history of expenditures to this organization was 2019 and 2024. Valerie Vaughn, the clerk treasurer, did send an email to the organization in an attempt to gather some additional information or some context regarding this. She did not receive a response to that, so there's very little context that we can provide at this point in time. We were waiting to hear back from them, but did want to go ahead and get it on the agenda for consideration. This very well may fall into the same category as maybe some other nonprofits that we've previously discussed contributing to. I'm not sure if we would clarify that the same way, but we just don't have a lot of information. We did not receive a response from them.
Well, Mayor, I move to table this matter until we gain some more information and someone speak with this body or the city manager or you.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to table item number 5, the Leadership Fayette County Oak Hill Scholarship Contribution. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Item has been tabled. Number 6, the consideration and approval of a revised MOU with Fayette County Commission regarding the fire levy funds for the purchase of a new fire engine.
Yep, so this MOU was previously agreed upon. It was signed. It was in place between both Fayette County Commission and the City of Oak Hill. Again, that outlines the contribution from the Fayette County Fire Levy in the amount of $200,000 a year for the next 4 years to fund the purchase of a fire engine, which we are proceeding with. As part of that, we can currently draw two basically last year and this year's draw from the fire levy, which amounts to $400,000. We will make a $100,000 contribution from the state insurance fund of the fire department, but the remaining approximately $400,000 we're attempting to finance through Truist, and we've been in negotiation previously. We've brought this before council. We've gotten quotes from various different financial institutions in regards to rates, and so Truist was the one with the most favorable rate. As we're moving through the process and they're gathering their documentation, Truist looked at the MOU, which of course that is the document that outlines the funding stream that will fund the purchase of the remaining balance. They had questions about the MOU, or more specifically wanted to see some information specified in the MOU that was not specified in there previously. And so we went back to counsel for the county commission, asked them if they would entertain revising the MOU, and they did, based upon the information we received from Truist. And so they did revise it. It was heard before the county commission on July the 8th, I believe, and they approved it. And so this is before us tonight to essentially reapprove this MOU with a little bit more specificity as per the bank's request. Now, that being said, this approved version from the Fayette County Commission was sent to the bank for their review. We have not heard back from them yet. They did say that they sent it to their legal counsel to review and determine if anything else needed to be added to it, which we hope is not the case because they already gave us their list. So that being said, since we have not heard back from them as of tonight, I would like to move forward with getting this approved so that in the event that they come back and say that it does suffice, we're ready to move forward rather than wait until the next meeting. If they come back and request additional changes, that's going to have to go back through the cycle and back before the county commission again, which, again, I'm hoping does not happen based upon the guidance they gave us before. So that's what we're looking at right now. I'm happy to entertain any questions if anybody has any.
I go ahead and move that we accept the approved revised MOU.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the approved and revised MOU with Fayette County Commission regarding the purchase of a new fire truck. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item number 7 is our school resource officer contract with Fayette County Board of Education.
This is a contract that we sign annually with the Fayette County Board of Education that funds the school resource officer at the Oak Hill campus. It remains relatively consistent from year to year. The only thing that does change is the amount to be reimbursed to us, which for this year is $72,203 in total, which is increased from last year of $70,100. So it did increase, and that's commensurate with the 3% pay increase that employees received as of July 1st. So we'd like to request that this be approved so that we can continue with the school resource officer.
Mayor, I'll move to approve the contract for the school resource officer and have it signed by the city manager or the mayor.
May we have a second, please?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the contract offer with the Fayette County Board of Education, school resource officer. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Item number 8, our police department hiring.
Yeah, I'm going to ask that this item be tabled until such a time that the police chief is ready to move forward. He had anticipated it would be ready in time for tonight's meeting. Unfortunately, all the administrative side of things was not finalized. So if we could table this until such a time that the police chief is ready to bring it back to the table.
Mayor, I'll move to table this item for the police department hiring.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to table the police department hiring. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Item number 9, the Planning Commission recommendations.
Okay, so we've got four different items to look at on this particular item. One is LC 66-26-1 land classification changes of 1001 Elizabeth Street, Oak Hill, West Virginia 25901, parcel 09-7-81, and 2.5 Elizabeth Street, Oak Hill, West Virginia 25901, parcel 09-7-81.1. And that's a change from R2 medium density residential district to B2 general business district. This is located behind C. Adam Tony Tires on Elizabeth Street. This is the optometrist office that's been there for a long time. I've got it up on a map there if you can see it. It's the properties there around 2.5 and 1001 Elizabeth Street. She has requested that this be changed from residential, which I'll slide this over. So the blue is our residential zoning, and the red is B2. This has been an optometrist office for many years. The zoning has never been adjusted to reflect its actual land usage. And so this would more or less be an expansion of the current B2 zoning in the adjacent districts to include this property, which has been and is continued to be used for business purposes. I do believe she is wanting to do some upgrades and some improvements to the property, and she's trying to get the zoning properly assigned to kind of make that process smooth and efficient. So this did come before the Planning Commission, and it is recommended from the Planning Commission to make this zoning change. And so we do have the proper ordinance in place for that, and I can let me get down here to the bottom, and I'll pull that ordinance up for this change. And so this was the ordinance there. It was included on SharePoint in the packet, and essentially this just puts into writing, should you choose to approve it, this puts it in writing, the ordinance to change this. Now, we will have to have 2 readings. This will be the first reading, and then we'll address the second reading at the next regular meeting, should it pass tonight.
Mayor, I move to have the first reading of the zoning change for 1001 Elizabeth Street on the recommendation of the Planning Commission.
I second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the Planning Commission's recommendations. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item B under this item, adoption of 15.08.065 variances to Title 15 Planning and Zoning Code of the Oak Hill Municipal Code. Let me pull this one up. So this is the ordinance change here. Essentially, I'll just read this off because this is the best way to put it. This ordinance clarifies and strengthens the variance provisions in Oak Hill Municipal Code 15.08, excuse me, Board of Zoning Appeals by establishing clear approval standards and required findings of fact. It also distinguishes the Board of Zoning Appeals authority over conditional use permits, variances, and administrative appeals. While the existing code references both variances and appeals, it does not clearly distinguish between them. Appeals concern whether the zoning enforcement officer correctly interpreted or applied the zoning ordinance, whereas variances provide relief from ordinance requirements based on unique conditions of a property. And so we've run into several situations right now where a lack of clarity in this ordinance has caused a little bit of ambiguity and some questions and potential problems. And so of we're developing quite a list of things that we'd like to tighten up, strengthen in some of the way that we have this worded in our ordinances to prevent, the ambiguity, the questions, the problems that do arise. So this is the ordinance, and if you've had a chance to read, it essentially goes through and establishes all the criteria for a variance, as I just described, and really does bring a lot of clarity to this. Mr. Fowle has reviewed these, and this comes, I believe, with his recommendation and your approval on this, as well as the Planning Commission is voting for this as well. So if this does pass tonight, this again is an ordinance change, so this will be a first reading and will require a second reading at the next regular meeting.
Well, with all that being said, I'd like to make the motion to adopt this 15.08.065 variances to Title 15 Planning and Zoning Code.
May we have a second?
I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second, the adoption of 15.08.065 variances to Title 15. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Third item.
Okay, that moves us to the amendment of 14.06.020 preliminary layout of Title 14 subdivision regulations of the Oak Hill Municipal Code. In short, this essentially establishes a fee for subdivision application, which is commonplace. Our ordinance did not define it. It allowed for the provision for us to define a fee, but no fee had ever been established. And it was recently discovered that we had no fee established, as we do for many of our administrative applications and procedures. And this fee, of course, covers, there's quite a lengthy process involved in subdivision review and regulations, and this helps to defray some of that cost as well as the cost of publication. And so, again, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, this, again, is an ordinance change. This would be the first reading, and it will require a second reading at the next regular council meeting, should this pass tonight.
And, City Manager, this is separate from and not a part of inspection fees?
Correct. This is entirely separate from inspection fees. The way this is under our subdivision regulations. So in the event that a developer plans a new subdivision within the city, they would come to the Planning Commission with all the required documents and the application for a subdivision, which of course will be subject to review by the Planning Commission and all the regulations within this chapter. And so it has nothing to do with building inspection fees at all. This is for the process for the zoning officer to process the application and prepare it for presentation to the Planning Commission. And that is a $100 fee, which again is commensurate with other municipalities we've looked at. There's certainly a range of fees. Many of them include additional fees for each individual lot. For administrative efficiency, the Planning Commission did determine that they would like to just do a $100 flat fee, and that this is their recommendation.
Mayor, I move to approve the first reading of the amendment to Ordinance 14.06.20, which establishes a $100 fee for the application process of a subdivision.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the amendment of 14.06.020, the preliminary layout of Title 14 subdivision regulations. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Last item.
Okay, the fourth item under this agenda item is the amendment of 14.06.030 subdivision plat to Title 14 subdivision regulations of the Oak Hill Municipal Code. This is very similar to the item we just discussed. There are two parts to the subdivision application process. The one we just discussed is the initial application for the preliminary layout. And then once that preliminary layout is approved, then the developer would come back to the Planning Commission with a final subdivision layout as a second part of that process, which allows them to address any comments or concerns or modifications identified by the Planning Commission in the first step of the process, which is the preliminary layout. So this is the second step. There's also a fee for this portion of it, which the Planning Commission wishes to establish at $50 flat fee for the second portion of this. And it does remove language. Let me see if I can zoom in on this here. It does remove language, as you can see in the red lined item. Previously, it identified plus a fee per acre or part thereof that the proposed subdivision exceeds 5 acres in area. If the application is disapproved, 1/2 of the fee shall be returned. So the Planning Commission wished to remove that, which essentially it makes no difference what size subdivision it is by acre at this point. It's just a $50 flat fee, and it at this point would be non-refundable. So they removed the refund portion of that, being that it is a relatively minor fee to begin with, and it's going to be eaten up by publication costs and administrative costs at that point anyway. And this is the recommendation of the Planning Commission to add this $50 fee and remove the items I just read. This is, again, an ordinance change, which will require 2 readings. This will be the first reading. The second reading would take place at our next regular meeting.
May we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May we have a second?
I second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Moving to item number 10 now, our coal severance budget revision.
Okay, this is the item we discussed at the beginning of the meeting. Let me pull this item up. It's a relatively minor budget revision. I'll get this up on the screen here. Excuse me. And so what this budget revision does is this, so in March, when we worked on the budget and then subsequently submitted it to the state, those figures are all estimations. You have to estimate what you think your remaining fund balance is going to be of that particular fund, in this case, coal severance. That fund balance was estimated to be at $500 at the close of the year. That fund balance is currently sitting at $39. And so what they want you to do with this budget revision is to correct what your estimated fund balance was with what your actual fund balance was at the close of the year on June the 30th. And so that equates to a difference of $461. So this budget revision is to correct that to the actual fund balance. And then subsequently, that allocation over on the expenditure side was allocated to streets and highways. And so the equal amount of the revision, $461, then had to be deducted from that line item to make everything match. And so that is the budget revision in total. That is it. It's a total change of $461. And again, this has, excuse me, by code is required to be submitted to the state auditor no later than July the 15th. So with this approval, we'll be able to get that submitted on time. And again, we'll put this item back on the July 24th meeting with proper advance notice and bring it back up again, just so that there's not any question about the late notice, again, due to an administrative oversight. So apologies for that oversight. Unfortunately, they do happen from time to time, and we try to avoid that where possible.
Mayor, I'll move to approve the coal severance budget revision.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept the coal severance budget revision. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Now we'll move into item number 11, our amended item, the hiring of our city manager, which is an anticipated executive session. Does anyone want to give us a motion to move us into executive session?
I'd like to make that motion, sir.
May we have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are now in executive session.
I got to be there by 8:30.
All righty. May we have a motion to come out of executive session, please?
Mayor, I'll make the motion to come out of executive session.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second to come out of executive session and return to our regular scheduled city council meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. There was no developments in our anticipated session. Nothing has changed, so we are now moving to our department reports. Do you have anything from MS4?
No MS4 report this evening.
All right. May we have a motion to accept the police department report? Chief, do you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Anyone?
I'll make that motion.
May we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the police department report. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Let's do the same for the fire department.
Who was the second? Thank you.
Mr. Elder. May we have a motion to accept the fire department?
I'll make the motion to accept the fire department report.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept the fire department report. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. And one more, Parks and Recreation. May we have a motion to accept that?
I make a motion, we accept the Parks and Recreation report.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Parks and Recreation report. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Do we have any council comments? Anyone?
I
Is
will.
the future agenda items under the same.
It's under the, yeah,
Oh,
it's-
okay.
it's next. It is next. Go ahead.
All I was going to say, it was great to see Lieutenant Pack back at our meeting.
Yes,
Yes,
didn't get to
absolutely.
acknowledge him. He got out of here quick, but yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And I'm still being asked about brush. The people that just can't get to Beckley don't have the means or,
I was going to bring that up too.
yeah.
If we could put it on the agenda for discussion about our recycling program in Oak Hill
Right.
and brush.
Can we
And
do that?
We've explained it several times, but we need to do it again, evidently.
Well, after all these storms we've had, there's
Yeah.
just more branches that have fallen and
Yeah.
Is
It's
that
tough.
something we could change with our city ordinances? I mean, could we burn within the city limits if it's,
You can now.
You can now.
we can now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wonder why people aren't burning. Because, I mean, I've seen little loads just go into the landfill that you could just burn. I mean,
most of
But-
them are elderly, the ones that are asking me if they could even get it, like how they used to be able to get it behind the school.
Yeah.
They just really can't get it to Beckley.
Yeah, and it gets a lot more complicated. You start getting into the requirement of having a special dumping site, which then becomes regulated by the state, which was kind of what we ran into when we
Yeah.
stopped dumping at Collins Park to begin with, among other things. So it ends up being kind of a bit of a regulatory nightmare.
Yeah.
As simple as a matter as it seems that it should be, it becomes more complicated very quickly.
Maybe if we just say that on the next one and with the clarity like you just gave, because there's still a lot of people asking.
DEP has an issue with it too.
do they?
The runoff that comes from that. You need a permit, a NPDES permit, which is similar. We have one of those permits for the discharge into from our sewer plants, and you need a similar permit that gets inspected, and you have a standard to live by and all that. So it's complex. Plus, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Any other council comments? Our future agenda items will be the hotel tax fire fee and the election changes.
Mayor, in regards to the hotel tax fire fee,
Yes.
okay. Bridge Day is October the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way possible that we can have that ordinance or that fee enacted effective,
Bridge
say,
Day?
October the 1st, so
Yeah.
we can capture that revenue on Bridge Day, because that's when a lot of people are going to be at the hotel. We can capture that
Right.
money.
I'll check with Mr. File. We still have to draft the ordinance itself.
I know one municipality's already drafted one.
Yeah.
They've already
Yeah.
put in, it's effective next year.
Yeah.
The dollar amount, they've already set the dollar amount. I just don't want us to miss out, if we can, if at all possible, if we can, get that enacted by Bridge Day.
Yeah, we'll have to look. I'll have to talk to Mr. File and see if we can get what's feasible to get, because it would have to be presented at the August meeting and then September.
Yeah.
But in addition, coincidentally, Mr. File and I had a discussion about this week. This being an ordinance primarily for the raising of revenue, there's an additional requirement for publication by state code.
Okay.
So we'd have to make sure we could meet that as well.
Okay.
And of course, that would be assuming that what ordinance we draft doesn't bring up any changes that would need to be made at the first reading.
Okay.
You know. So we can certainly try.
Okay, yeah.
All right, thank you, Councilman Bushis. Announcements. There will be a special council meeting July 24th at 6 o'clock. The next regular scheduled council meeting will be August 10th, at 6 o'clock. And do not forget about Faco Lumber and Supplies 80th anniversary celebration. They're expecting all of us there July 18th at the office. There'll be some history on their business. We have a proclamation for them. They are having a special caterer come in, so there's going to be lots of food. On behalf of the Oak Leaf, is anyone wanting to be in the parade before we? No? Okay, just checking.
Mayor, could I ask on the Faco Lumber,
Yes.
right now it says from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the entire time. Is there a specific pointed time that you're planning to read the proclamation, and that maybe if council wanted to show up at that time to have everyone there for that reading? Is there a time period for
They
that?
did not give me a specific time on it, but I figure it'll be around the lunch hour.
The email that you sent had, from Becky Sullivan, had 11 o'clock.
Okay, hers was.
That's when I was going to go.
Okay. I need to look back at that too. That's when they were going to be there. The CVB was going to be there.
Yes,
To do
11
their.
o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
It would make sense that it would align
11,
with
yeah.
that, and then it could be kind of publicized on there, because they always put that on Facebook live stream as well.
All right. Anyone else? May we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion. So moved.
Motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor? Ayes have it. We are adjourned.